Imagine watching a bird suddenly collapse onto the ground, dragging one wing behind its body, looking hopelessly injured. A hungry fox races toward the easy meal. But just as the predator gets close, the bird suddenly flies away, perfectly healthy. Now imagine another bird, quietly slipping into a stranger's nest, leaving behind a single egg before disappearing forever. Months later, another family unknowingly raises a chick that isn't even their own. These sound like scenes from a movie, but they're real. Across forests, grasslands, and coastlines, birds have evolved some of the most extraordinary survival strategies ever seen in nature, not because they're dishonest, but because, in the wild, survival often belongs to those who can outsmart danger. Today, we're uncovering the incredible ways birds use deception. And by the end of this video, you'll see that nature's greatest illusionists don't wear capes. They have feathers. Let's begin with one of nature's greatest mysteries. Imagine spending weeks building a nest, laying your precious eggs, carefully protecting them from predators, only to discover that one of the chicks isn't yours. This is exactly what happens to hundreds of bird species around the world. Some birds, known as brood parasites, never raise their own young. Instead, the female quietly waits until another bird leaves its nest. Within seconds, she lays one perfectly timed egg, then disappears. When the unsuspecting parents return, everything appears normal. They continue warming every egg, including the stranger hidden among them. Soon, the mysterious chick hatches. In some species, it's larger, hungrier, and grows much faster than its nestmates. The foster parents work tirelessly, bringing food from sunrise until sunset, never realizing they're raising someone else's offspring. It sounds unbelievable, but this remarkable strategy has evolved because it allows the parent bird to spend less time nesting and more time producing the next generation. Nature isn't rewarding dishonesty, it's rewarding survival. Now imagine you're a hungry predator. You discover a bird sitting helplessly on the ground. One wing hangs awkwardly. It struggles to escape. Easy prey. Or so it seems. This remarkable performance belongs to birds like the killdeer. As soon as a predator approaches the nest, the parent runs into the open, pretending to be badly injured. It stumbles, flutters, drags its wing across the ground. Every movement encourages the predator to keep following, farther and farther, away from the hidden chicks. Then, once the nest is safely behind, the bird suddenly takes flight, completely unharmed. The confused predator is left with nothing. It wasn't a lucky escape. It was one of the most effective distraction displays ever perfected by evolution. Sometimes the safest place for a family is wherever the danger isn't looking. Building a home takes enormous effort. Collecting sticks, finding grass, weaving everything together, protecting it from storms. But not every bird chooses that path. Many species simply move into homes that already exist. Some settle inside abandoned tree cavities. Others reuse old nests built by different birds. Certain owls, wood ducks, and several cavity nesting species often rely on natural hollows that formed decades earlier. Why spend precious energy building when a perfectly good shelter already exists? To us, it might seem like taking a shortcut, but in nature, every bit of saved energy can mean more successful hunts, healthier chicks, or surviving one more difficult winter. Sometimes, Working smarter is the best survival strategy of all. Deception doesn't always involve nests. Sometimes it's all about timing. Picture a busy beach. One seabird lands with a freshly caught fish. Nearby, another bird waits patiently, not stronger, not faster, just watching. The instant the first bird loses focus, the waiting bird swoops in, snatching the meal before disappearing into the sky. Elsewhere, birds distract rivals with sudden movements, unexpected calls, or perfectly timed flights that shift attention away from what truly matters. To human eyes, these behaviors can look carefully planned, but every action serves a simple purpose: avoid unnecessary risk, save valuable energy, increase the chance of survival. Nature rarely rewards waste. It rewards efficiency. It's tempting to think these birds are making complicated plans, but evolution works differently. Over millions of years, small changes that improved survival were passed from one generation to the next. A parent that successfully distracted predators raised more chicks. A bird that found an existing nesting site saved valuable energy. A species that discovered safer ways to protect its young left behind more descendants, generation after generation. Those successful behaviors became part of the species itself. That's why these incredible strategies appear almost effortless today. They aren't magic. They aren't conscious tricks. They're the result of millions of years of natural selection, quietly refining what works best. Nature doesn't choose the strongest every time. Sometimes it chooses the most adaptable. So, who are nature's greatest deceivers? Perhaps it's not the birds at all. The real deception is how easily our own eyes can be fooled. An injured bird that isn't injured, a devoted parent raising a chick that isn't its own, a seemingly empty tree hiding a perfectly protected family. What looks like trickery is actually one of evolution's greatest achievements. Every distraction, every borrowed nest, every carefully timed behavior has one purpose: to survive long enough to raise the next generation. The next time you hear birds calling overhead or spot one behaving in an unusual way, remember, you may be witnessing a survival strategy that has been perfected for millions of years, and that's what makes the natural world so extraordinary. If you love uncovering the hidden mysteries of birds and wildlife, subscribe for more incredible stories from the natural world. Because the deeper we look into nature, the more astonishing it becomes.